Forward to the cloud. All right, so we are recording. This is October 2021's leadership call. We have a guest speaker. September 2021. September 2021 leadership call for Blessings and 176 Roots. It's going to be a great night and a great call, and we have a guest speaker, Danielle Bechdel, who you guys just heard, but she'll be popping on in about 10-15 minutes. So Katie and I are gonna be chatting a little bit with you guys. If there's anything specific that y'all want to talk about before Danielle hops on, just drop it in the chat. Katie, you want to take it off clearly, because I don't even know what month it is.
Clearly. The first thing I wanted to talk about was this incentive. So we are now in the second month of this current incentive. Anybody can earn this incentive. I'm here to, if you go ahead and make a plan and you're consistent month after month, you have till the end of January to earn this incentive, and everybody can earn it. If you put your mind to it, believe that you can do it, number one, because if you're telling yourself there's no way I can earn it, you're going to automatically set yourself up for failure. So one thing that I love about this company is the incentives are aligned up to let you have a successful business. That is how it's lined up. It is lined up around the 3 legs of success. So PRV, sponsoring, and working with your team, the people that you sponsor, to help them promote. That is how you're getting points for this current incentive. It's right along aligned with how you build a strong foundational business. So if you're brand new or you're a brand new leader, you can earn this incentive. We want you to earn this incentive. I promise you that when you go on your very first incentive trip, you will never want to miss another one. There is nothing like it. I remember my first reunion. They announced that incentive. The incentive was to Spain. It was an all expense cruise. And I remember telling myself there was no way in hell somebody from Rich Square could earn a trip like that. There was no way. And I listened to it and I'm like, look at all these people like cheering, and that's great for them, but that's not in the cards for somebody like me. And I earned top 50 of that trip from freaking Rich Square. And I was a star consultant. I was either a lead consultant or a star consultant going into that incentive period. So if you're a leader, obviously, because this is a leadership call, lead consultants, you have a better chance of earning this trip than me and Ray Ray do, because we can't get promotion points anymore. We're at the top of the company. We can't get any more promotion points. You can make bank off of promotion points. So one thing I want you to take away from this call, your PRV has to come first always. Sponsoring. Make a plan to sponsor at least 2 people a month and work with the people that you sponsor. Cincy does not reward you for just sponsoring. It doesn't matter if you sponsored 50 people. If you don't work with those 50 people and help them, it's the same thing as if you're sponsored 0 people. And I love that about this business compared to other businesses. You can't just sponsor and promote. You can't just sponsor and do well in this company. When your team is successful, when the people that you sponsor are successful, you're successful. So it's an automatic trickle down effect. So when you train and you show up for your team, and you train them and you work with them and you lead by example and you show them how you're working and they find success in it, you're going to automatically become successful. When I talk to people and they're like, I really want to promote, I don't like forced promotions. I don't like it if you have a team of 10 and you promote to director. That's great and all, but you're not going to be able to sustain it. You can hit director pretty much by yourself, but you can't exceed that without anybody else. So one thing I really want you guys to take away from this call is showing up for your team is extremely important. Showing them how you're working. When they're successful, you're successful, and that promotion and getting paid at title is going to come naturally, and that's what you want. You don't want forced paid at title. You don't want forced promotions. You want a natural paid at title, a natural promotion, so you can sustain it. So We're only in the second month. We just started the second month. So if you don't have a plan, go to your incentive tab, and there is a tracker on the incentive tab. One of the things that I personally did is I pulled my front line, everybody in my front line that had the probability of promoting, meaning they had high PRV, or they sponsored people, or they had the TWV. And I scheduled one-on-one calls with those people. Go ahead, Danielle. I am very close to level 2. Very, 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 like very close. Like I'll have it in the next week. So I'm super pumped, and I don't want to sound boastful about that. I want you guys to know that you guys can do that. You can earn it. We have plenty, 5.5 months left of this incentive. 4.5 months left of this incentive. You can absolutely do it. So make a plan, go to your incentive tab, see what you need in place. If you practice the 3 legs of success month after month, and you're consistent with that, you'll earn every single incentive without even stressing yourself about it. I never stress if I'm going to earn an incentive or not. I know I'm going to earn it because I consistently work the 3 legs of success month after month. So it's automatically going to happen, and Scentsy rewards that. So, that's all I really wanted to say. I want to encourage you guys, and y'all can do this. And I want to see y'all. It's been a long time since I've seen people, so I want to see y'all.
Yeah, I want to add to that. So Katie's like so right. You have to focus on the legs of success to earn the incentive. Sorry, let me mute someone real quick. Okay. But just from like doing coaching calls and talking one-on-one with my leaders and my consultants who are essential or certified, looking at the big picture really scares them. It freaks them out. You know, they're looking at the 40,000 mark. That point value is scary. Okay. It's scary for all of us. But one thing that I've been telling my girls is, if you focus on booking 10 parties a month, 10 parties, a minimum of 10 parties a month, you will reach this. Now, you have to be intentional with those 10 parties, okay? But partying is going to bring you PRV. It's going to bring you new contacts, new customers. It's going to give you more. You're going to be able to get more Scentsy Club subscriptions, right? More PRV. Then those hosts, you're going to flip at least 2-3 of those hosts into your new teamies, right? Because you're going to offer that opportunity to them and share with them, hey, you just hit a $500 party. You can get your kit for free. These are all the different things that you're going to get if you sign up. This is going to be your paycheck, right? You're going to show them like what's in it for them. They're going to join. And so that's why we always aim on the high end of parties, because number one, if you book 10 parties, okay, there's a chance that maybe 2 of them are going to be flops, okay, where you get 50 PRV, or maybe you don't get any PRV from it. Maybe your hosts aren't working, right? Because at the end of the day, your hosts have to be the one to bring what they have to the table to show their customers, okay, because their customers have a relationship with them. They don't necessarily have a relationship with you, okay? Then you're going to get hopefully at least 2 of those 10 parties to flip, meaning they're going to become your teamies, which means you're not going to get that PRV. So then you have the other, let's say for those 6 parties for your PRV, to meet your PRV goal. Okay. Which means all those people that ordered through those other 6 parties, they're now your customers. You are going to grow those relationships. You are going to grow those connections. You're going to get to know them on a deeper level than Scentsy. You're going to get to know them. You know, do they have kids? What do they do for a living? What do they do as a hobby? Maybe you're going to connect with them because you guys have dogs or whatever the case may be. Then that's when you come in and you're going to share with them what Scentsy Club is and why they need a Scentsy Club and all of that. Okay. So if looking at the big picture, if looking at that large number amount, point value to earn whatever level you're aiming for, if that scares you, then literally book 10 parties a month and you will hit it. If you are intentional with those 10 parties a month, you will hit this. Okay. Katie already said it. It's much easier for someone who's a lead, even essential certified, to hit the top tier of this incentive because you get huge promotion points. Okay. So you guys can do it. But the number one thing that you have to believe in is yourself. If you don't believe that you are going to reach this incentive, you're right. You're right. You have to tell yourself, I can do this. And you will. And you're going to shock your freaking self. Okay. So
Put the
you already said it. Once you go on your first incentive, I promise you, you'll never miss another one.
And I feel like James is in the room, but I feel like that when our first incentive, that is what made it real for my husband. I feel like that changed the game for my husband. So put your blinders on. You don't have to tackle a million things. Put your blinders on, focus on your month, prep for your month, stay ahead of the game, front loading, all that stuff. Ray hit it on the head. Almost every single one of my recruits came from a party, almost every single one. And I have almost 150 frontline. So, and almost every single one of them I met through a party. So put your blinders on and stay focused. Don't worry about stuff that doesn't matter. Focus on the things that matter, the 3 legs of success. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Stay in your lane and you're going to kill it. You're gonna get it.
Yep.
Oh, whose baby was that? That was the cutest giggle.
Emily Moffat.
I'm so sorry she's attacking me.
No, that's
Sorry. Thanks.
But yeah, you guys can do it, but you have to believe that you can, okay? That's the number one thing. I was gonna say something. You said something but I lost it.
So many people just say there's no way, like the second the incentive is released, they say there's no way that I can earn it. And out of anything that anybody could ever say to me, when they say I can't do something, it does something to my soul to see people not even try or put forth effort because they automatically discounted themselves. They automatically counted themselves out. And I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to shock yourself. I want you guys to do it because you can do it. Shock yourself. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. There is nothing like an incentive trip. The way that Scentsy spoils you, the way that every detail is thought out. There's literally nothing like it in the world. And I want that for each and every single one of you. And you can do this. You can do it. Don't discount yourself. Don't say only Ray can go, or Katie can go, or my director can go, or these people can go. You can go. You can go. I had lead consultants, star consultants earn the last incentive.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah, let me tell you guys, when I joined in for almost 4 years ago, back in October of 2017, I earned the incentive in 3 months. I joined after the incentive. Okay, so normally it's a 6-month long incentive. I joined 3 months in, and I was able to earn it for myself. Okay, so never say never. Do not look at someone's title. Do not look at your title and say, oh, I'm only a lead consultant. I'll never be able to earn it. That is not the case at all. I think I was a star consultant when I went to Spain. I'm actually going to go look. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go look right now.
You have to take it month by month. And that's just for every aspect of your business, even outside of an incentive. You need to focus on months by month. What can you do this month that is going to change everything in the next 6 months? What is that one party going to do for you in the next 6 months? What is that one person? All it takes is one person to change your entire business. And you don't know who that one person is going to be that's going to change everything for your business. I think, Ray, you're looking.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's loading.
Oh, I was like, Ray, you still there?
Yep. I was a star consultant when I earned that trip to Spain.
And that was
so never say. I started the incentive period as an essential consultant. I was brand new, had no background in sales, had no background in social media, had no background in going live, had no background in going Zoom. I still remember my first Zoom call was like, I don't even know how to get on this shit. Literally. I was like, I literally don't know what I'm doing.
Snowberry. It smells like snow.
Yeah, I said that on my very first live, y'all. Okay. I opened up Snowberry. It was a fragrance we had back then. And I said, oh, this smells good. It smells like berries and snow. Snowberry. And I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. That is the worst description on the planet.
Yeah, do it, man. Y'all can do it. And the thing is, when you earn it, your team is going to believe that they can earn it. And as leaders, ultimately, your job is to show them that it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle's here.
Yep.
All right, I'm taking myself off.
All right.
Her to the floor.
Danielle. And just a little background on Danielle, y'all. Let me give you a little bit of background. She started this business back in April. Okay. And she promoted to director last month. That is 4 months that she promoted to director. Okay. Not only, she did not promote to director on accident. If you go back, she has always been she's always been someone with high PRV. Last month, she had over 4,000. She's a high recruiter and she's clearly coaching her team. Okay. She's clearly coaching her team. A lot of people miss the aspect of coaching. So she's going to come on here, tell us her story and tell us what she's been focusing on to get to where she is now. Okay. So, all right. Danielle, come on, girl. I'm going to spotlight you. There we go.
Hello, I'm still in my car, but my phone was dying. I didn't want to risk it hanging up, so I just plugged it in quick. So, hi, I'm Danielle Bechdel, and yeah, so I wish I could tell you guys exactly what to do to get here. I mean, I can, but I can't say, well, post this at 3 p.m. and people are going to buy it. No, I believe in these products and I believe in myself and I believe in my team. So we all know Scentsy wants us to be simple, keep it simple, be authentic and be grateful and generous. And I do all of that. Of course, we have there's 16 of us now, I think, on not just on my team, but on my team and their team and their team. But I'm passing it on and they're all seeing the same things. Of course, if I show you my notes, I study our products. The product guide is my best friend. I work a full-time job, 13-hour days, and I take my Scentsy stuff with me to read in between. Anything I can get my hands on, I read. I started in the morning doing the gratitude for 5 to 10 minutes, meditating for 5 to 10 minutes, which is self-care. And then I talk about the products. I look for, they say book, sell, sponsor. I think book, solve problems, and sponsor, which is solving another problem. So there's nothing really magical I'm doing. I'm just doing I think people overthink it. You know what I mean? Like they think they got to do all this extra stuff. But I also listen to Ray and Katie and a lot of what they say. They always say, treat every customer like they're your only one. Of course, I do that too. I make sure they feel the appreciation that I feel when they order, or have a party. I send them a thank you card and I put some candy in it. You know, the same thing that they do. Maybe not to their level yet, but I just make them feel like, because really without them, I'm nothing. Even my team, without them, I can't go anywhere. So the other day at work, I had a tablet and I was like, okay, so I had an action plan to get me here. Now, what do I need to do next? So here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to be. And there's a gap in the middle. The only way to get where I want to be is to sponsor, and not just sponsor to sponsor, because that won't do any good, but sponsor and train them. Start thinking positive. If any of them start to say, oh man, I can never, get anybody to, or I wish I was as successful as you, or I could never get anybody to have a party. I said, don't say that. Say, nobody wants to have a party now, but I'm working on, change it up to something positive. And really, that's it. I have been digging deep into self-development. And it looks like this was a 4-month journey, but I'll be honest, before Scentsy, I've been working on my mind for a while. So I did another direct sales company. I earned the incentive trip, but I just wasn't in it. My heart was not in it. And so I love Scentsy. I've loved it so long. So when I joined it, I really joined just for the discounts, but because of the seeds I planted last year and what I'm learning, it just flourished. And you got to remember, what you do today will help your business 6 months from now, 2 years from now. So this is from seeds I planted last year at this time when I started watching Jim Rohn and, I can't even think of anybody else's name right now, but Tony Robbins and all them. I listen to them. I read the books, How to Win Friends and Influence, or I don't even remember the name. But right now I'm reading, oh my gosh, you guys, my mind's blank. I'm so sorry. I just had a really good party and I'm in my car and I'm a little nervous, but, Beach Money. That's the one I'm reading now. You got to train your mind, because one thing I learned, your paycheck will never outgrow your mindset. So if you don't plant seeds in your own mind, that you then teach your team a duplicatable system that they can follow. One of my teamies, Misty, she's been with me since the beginning, which it's only been 4.5 months. She just sponsored. And you know what? She's like, thank you, because she's doing what I'm saying. She's believing in herself. She is doing the affirmations. Guys, it's not that hard. We don't have to. I had a girl say, well, I can't afford to buy all these new products to always show live. I said, you don't have to do that. Take the products you have and show the problems they're solving. Don't overthink it. It's really simple. Yes, affirmations, 100%. So let me tell you this way. When I wake up in the morning, before I look at emails, now I work and I have to be there at 6:40. So I get up at 4:40. That's early. I don't even look at my emails or nothing. I put my earbuds in and I put it on this thing that says, thank you. Thank you for this day. It's like 5 minutes. And I say everything that it's saying, I repeat back. Then I meditate 5 minutes and I focus on my vision board for a few minutes and I go write gratitude, read my Bible. Bam, I get ready for work in 30 minutes and 20 minutes, probably. I leave at 6, but all day at work, any chance I get, I'm reading about my products. What problems can these solve? I'm building friendships. The party I just had tonight, great party. I didn't even put the orders in yet. I have a stack of orders like this, all coworkers, because I talk about it to them. They say, why are you always so happy? They see the changes. Everybody around me sees the changes. I didn't see what that question said, guys. I'm sorry. But I don't know how to get back. I'm like you, Ray. I'm new at Zooms. I did one other one for cacti and I was lost because I've never done it before. So bear with me. And I told Katie earlier, I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I wish I could tell you guys at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, if you post this, you're going to have 5 people buy. Or say this and people will sponsor. But really, it's enthusiasm, excitement, them seeing your life change, them, even if it's something little. I made a vision board, and on my vision board, it wasn't just about me. I have every member of my team, even the people ahead of me, on there. And let me say this too. I have a upline that barely speaks to me, that has given very little help. So that is an excuse I hear a lot too. It doesn't matter. Just believe you can. Right. I wish there was a direct manual, I swear, but The Secret, it's a documentary on Netflix. I watched that about, yes, believe you can. I watched The Secret about a year ago. Oh, wait, I got sidetracked, guys. Squirrel brain, see? So anyways, The Secret taught me about vision boards. So I made a vision board. The other day I looked at it. It says, what do you want to spend your Scentsy paycheck on monthly? First thing I wrote, a new camper. Guess what we just got? A new camper. I didn't even realize it. I manifested that. The seeds I planted, the hard work I'm doing. It's not brand new, but it's brand new to us. And we've never had a camper. So I then show gratitude for that. I'm excited. I'm grateful. I I am so grateful. It's unreal. And I looked at it. I was telling somebody about my vision board, and I looked at it. I'm like, look what's in our yard. We literally just bought it. And yes, I could have bought it with my paycheck, but my husband was like, keep that money, honey. We can buy it. But still, the point is, I could have bought it with my Scentsy paycheck. So at the end of the day, you have to have a vision and a why, and you have to believe that you can. So whether you believe in God or whether you don't, I do. But I also believe that God is love. And the more love and generosity and the more kindness and the more compassion and the more belief and faith that we have in our heart, yes, I agree. The vision and the why does it. And then the belief and the faith that anything you put out into the God or to the universe, it's going to come back. It's going to come right back. I believe that I can. I just got the email that I'm so close to earning level 1 of the incentive, and I'm so excited. I know I can do it. I'm going to earn that trip. You know why? Because I believe I can. And my why is powerful. If you just join Scentsy, so see, I originally joined for the discounts, right? But now I see opportunity here to leave my current job. I had to miss my son's graduation party. I had to miss my nephew's birthday. I've had to miss Christmas. I've had to miss, because I work a schedule. I was on night shift. Now I'm on day shift, but I'm tired of being away from home, missing things 13 hours a day. Are you kidding me? Scentsy is the opportunity. So that's my why. My kids are all, my youngest kid is 16. If I miss his graduate, I don't want to miss anything else. So my why is getting stronger as my belief in this business is getting stronger. So you mix those two things together, you're powerful. Believe in yourself. Take self-care. I'm telling you guys, you have to make self-care. When you hear that, you think days off, relaxing, going to the nail salon, getting a pedicure, whatever. But to me, it could be that, but it's also growing your mind so you can grow your paycheck, growing the minds of your teams. Even if I just shipped the team member a book the other day, just on Amazon, a book. She's been real interested. And I thought, it was going to help her. So, I don't know what else to say. I'm probably rambling at this point, but it's basically believe you can, and you will be shocked. Start today. Don't wait until tomorrow, because remember that you plant a tree today, you don't see the results for a couple weeks, right? So start today. You might start seeing results next week or next month, but don't give up. That's basically all I have to say, guys.
All right, that was great. And
I'm
I'll come
sorry.
back, even in yourself. Honestly, I truly 1,000% believe that.
Believe what?
It all comes back to believing in yourself and believing it really does. And
I wish I could just make people understand. Just try it for 2 weeks. Just try it. Try it. Do not doubt. If you get a doubt, sometimes that happens. Even complaining or being negative. If it starts to come in there, change it up. Like, nope. Today I didn't, but tomorrow I am. I know. You got to change it up.
Yep. Hey, tell us how many parties do you have a month, roughly?
I would say 8.
8. See, on the high end, y'all. Okay, good.
My goal is to have 10, and I'm working on it. I did my first live event party tonight, and this is my 6th party this month. I have one more I'm believing is starting this month, and I'm trying to get another one for this month. This month's been a little slower, but it's still great parties,
Yes.
And of course, I always, even if I don't have a hostess, I have my own party. I'm my hostess. Or a mystery hostess. You never know. You never know who,
Yep. Okay, tell us, what do you like? How do you go about to get, what's your system to get recruits or to get teamies?
So I will tell you that people will say, I don't have the time. I'm like, are you kidding me? I work 13-hour days. And so they see that I can do it, and they really start believing that they can do it. But I also say, they see how much fun it is and how we're all commenting on each other's stuff on Facebook, and how, even if it's just 3 of us, we went to lunch the other day, and they might say like, oh, well, I would love to do what you do. And I'm like, you can. And they're like, well, I don't have any friends. I'm like, neither did I. We got married 2 years ago. Oh, whoops, I messed up. Maybe it was a year ago, but it was 2020. We got married. I didn't even have bridesmaids. I had my kids and his kids. I don't have friends either. I'm making friends now. I have acquaintances, but now I call my team my friends. We talk every day in our group chat, and people just see me having so much fun with it, and they see me. I would think they see me so excited about it, and they want that for themselves too. But I just plant little seeds and have conversations like, girl, it's so much fun, when people order off a party, when I follow up with them, I say, girl, like, how's your Scentsy going? And they'll be like, oh, I love it. And I say, girl, have you ever thought about selling it? You put in a pretty big order. You should sell it. That's, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, I'll think about it. And that's pretty much the only thing I've done so far,
Mm-hmm.
It's only been 4.5 months, but basically even my one neighbor that joined, she was like, I don't want to do it. So I have a girl that used to sell it before, and I'm like, just join our group chat and just see it for 1 week. See how different it is than how it was for you before. And she joined. So when they know you're going to support them, they want to join again,
Yep. But you do have to put yourself out there by asking them.
Yes, right. Because you know what? Let me tell you that story quick. So I had bought Scentsy $200 club off some girl I didn't even know every month. Every month, the girl never asked me to join, never. So one time I went to her website to order or to edit or something, and it was gone. Somehow it brought me to this Jen's page. I don't even know if that's because I don't even know how it did that, but I messaged her and I said, hey, the girl that I buy off isn't, whatever. And I want to order. Can I order off you? And she was like, if you spend that much, why don't you sell? And I had never thought about it, never in my life. And I was like, well, let me talk. Why don't I? But I was like, let me talk to my husband. I joined the next night. Looking back, I wish I joined somebody I knew. But in retrospect, if somebody would have asked me, I might have joined them. No one ever asked me. They got to ask. You got to ask.
Yeah, you have to ask, y'all. So if you're not asking, make that step, make that leap. Okay.
Let me say this. What does no change? Who cares? They say no, big deal. Who cares? It does not change anything. I actually learned about this system where if you count how many no's you get, eventually you'll know 3 more no's and I'm going to get a yes. And then 4 more no, or whatever. So I started keeping track of my no's because I know there's a yes coming up and that gets me excited.
Yes. Go for the no, y'all. Go for the no.
The attraction piece, like you nailed it on the head. Like the last 20 people that I sponsored, I didn't have to ask. They came to me because they watch you. People get so caught up on nobody responds, nobody likes my post, nobody comments on my post. None of the people I recruit ever comment on any of my posts or like my posts. But they come to you. The other thing I want to say about Danielle too, because I feel like this is very important. If you're on Leaders with a Dream, Danielle posts every single day. Every single day. That's why, and I'm a firm believer of this, your team is doing very well because you show up for them. They don't know who Katie Lasser is. They don't know who Ray Anderson is. They don't know the people that are posting. They know you as their sponsor, and they're going to follow their leader. I can tell from the get-go who is director material. An essential consultant that starts posting, starts sharing, a certified consultant. People that share, you can't teach that. That is something that you cannot teach. You cannot teach people to show up. You cannot teach people to be consistent. You can't teach those things. And you do those things very consistently. And
I'll tell you what, one of my favorite quotes says, now I don't do of course we do this for our own selves too, but I'm not selfish. I want everybody with me, but of course I want it for myself too. But there's a quote hanging in my room right next. I have another vision board. It's like one I change right next to the mirror. I get ready every day. Has 10 affirmations. It has the note that Ray wrote me. It has Katie. It has your thing you sent me too with saying she believed she could, so she did. I have all these things that I need to remind myself while I'm getting ready every day. And on there, I have a quote that says, you're only one decision away from a whole new life. And one that says, to get everything you want in life, you got to help others get everything they want in life. So I just try to think, oh, if that helped me, let me share it. Someone else, it might plant a seed in their brain like it just did mine, you know?
Yep.
But that matches the business model. That's
Yes.
it. That is everything that Orville and Heidi ever created. That when
I
you get
send that business motto to everybody. That is so important. Be simple, be genuine, and be authentic.
Mhm.
Be generous too. Like, there's no reason why we get so many rewards and you can't give a mini warmer away or donate a basket or, you know.
Or a note. Like, if you have nothing else to give, a text message.
Right. Handwritten notes to your customers, they like that too.
Yep.
The little bags from the Dollar Tree or whatever, I know they pay for their stuff, but I wrap it up. They just get a kick out of it, you know. And obviously it wasn't my idea. I've watched leaders before me who paved the way, thank you, by the way, do that stuff. But you guys know too, because you see it, they love it. Treat them like that matter and they will come back.
Yep.
People build business.
Yep. And last thing I wanted you to hit on is, how do you coach your team?
So every day when I wake up and I listen to the affirmations, we have a group chat. I send them to them. So I'm about 4.5 months in. The one girl that's been with me since the beginning just started this about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she's sponsored now. She's getting high. She has 1,000 PRV already this month. She's doing really good. And she's like, wow, I should have listened to you months ago. But I was planting seeds. It took that long for her to get it, you know, seeing me promote every month. And so anything that I learn, I pass on to them. I just started the one-on-one calls, but some of them act like I can't make them do it. Like some of the people that are under me, if somebody has excuses, I can't make them, but I can still share in our group chat. We have a team page called Team Momentum. There's only 15 of us on there, but guess what? I post every day. Sometimes I share other trainings like from you guys that I learned, or short little clips, but I share a lot of mindset stuff. I started that thing on our team page that you guys do, which is how I'm working, to see how they're working. Every month I send them a certificate that I make on Canva in a picture frame saying, you know, oh, lead, or whatever they did, or even if it was sensational start, or even if it was just their first live or whatever, I say congratulations. And depending on what level they're at, I send them what they need to do to get to the next level. And then I send them some papers that will help them, like the customer tracking, like the follow-up tracking page. I print one off and send it. I print off the 30-minute Facebook party on Workstation, and I send it to them. And really anything they want to know, I coach them. See, my upline always had this thing, and I'm not talking bad at all, but well, it's in Workstation. And to me, that was Chinese when I started. I hated that. And I was determined I would never make anybody feel that way again. Because you can tell me it's in Workstation, but I didn't know at that time I could search any topic. I'm looking on my phone and all I seen what was there in a search bar, but I didn't know what to search. I was new, you know? So I try to direct them. In Workstation on this, you will find this sheet. Your homework for this week is to watch that. And then I say just initial when you're done, and we talk about it then, you know? Or like, I want to start doing like a book club type thing where we can read these books together, because I think these books, Beach Money, that's a great book. And I want us all to maybe read it and talk about it once a week. Even though that's not really Scentsy related, it can help a lot.
Oh yeah, it definitely can. So I just want to remind you guys, like, there's no right or wrong way to run your business. There's no right or wrong way to coach someone, but as long as you're there and you're leading the way for them, you'll see success. So Danielle coaches completely, right? Katie completely different than I do. And we all have seen success, just like a lot of you up here. All of you up here have seen success. I mean, you've gotten to lead or above for a reason, right? You've all seen success, and you're going to continue to see success. exactly why you're on this training. There's 22 of you up here. I think we had like 25 earlier. So does anyone have any questions? If you do, you can unmute yourself. I know someone has something to say.
I think really, if they want it, they can do it. They just got to put up. Who cares what your mom says or your dad or people not being mean, but if they say, oh, you'll never make money doing that or whatever, you never made money doing this, but I am watched. You know, that's what I would say. My parents support me, but you know, not everybody does.
Yep. My brother didn't support me for the longest time. It took my sister almost a year to buy for me, and my brother kept telling me it was a pyramid scheme. And now my brother's like, wow, you make more money than I do. And I'm like,
yeah.
See? Should have
Do
believed.
you think that helped you? Do you think that helped you push more?
Yeah, it did. I was determined to show him that it wasn't a pyramid scheme.
I love it when people doubt. I remember when somebody did like a nasty Facebook post about me, but didn't put my name in there, but everybody knew who he was talking about. He was really rude and nasty. And about direct sales and just Scentsy in general. And I wrote up there, this is before I left home. Before I left my job. Is right in the beginning of my business. So, and that's when you're most prone, right? Because that's when you hear the negativity, and most people let that defeat them instead of rise above that. Most people, they're like, oh God, she's right. Or, oh my God. Most people, they let that discourage them and sink in. And he wrote this nasty post. And I just remember typing back to him, you would never down a mom for getting a second job. You would never down a waitress for waitressing. You would never down somebody that works at Walmart. You would never down a nurse. You would never down somebody trying to do better for themselves, ever. But because it's Scentsy and because it's direct sales, you have an input about it. And he was very, very nasty. Well, I recruited his girlfriend, so there's that.
Good for you.
People, you have to, I'm not going to say you have to prove it to them. You have to prove it to yourself. I am a firm believer that the best people in this business don't need anything from anybody.
No.
Every single one of my directors, I didn't coach. Ray Ray, bless you. Ray Ray was my first director. I didn't do crap for her. Didn't do that for her. I was just like, ask me if you need anything.
I would ask you what the warmer of the month was, because I could never find it.
Well, you would ask. It's not like I would say, do you want coaching? My coaching was, let me know if you need anything. That was my coaching. Let me know if you have any questions. Because I was like that. My sponsor didn't coach me. My sponsor didn't train me. But I wanted it so badly that there's a Google search bar. I don't know what the price is for the warmer of the month. Every month I go to Google and I say, what is the price for September 2021 warmer of the month? And it pops up. The best people that do well in this business have a strong, deep-rooted why. They don't need anything from you. They don't need to be pushed. They don't need to be motivated, because they know at the end of the day why they do this. And you have to know why you do this. When people talk crap about direct sales, or, Katie, you think you're leaving your nursing job? You ain't gonna make it. There's 20 other consultants around here. You're not gonna do nothing. You're not gonna do nothing. You're wasting your time. You're wasting all this time doing it. You do it for you.
So, Katie, how long did it take you to get where you are today?
January be 5 years. I left my nursing job in 2019. So I joined a few months before Ray Ray. I joined in January 2017. I left my nursing job in May 2019, and I promoted to superstar director in June of 2019. So 2 years.
So can I ask you, was Ray Ray the one that changed your business?
She is one of the ones that absolutely changed my business.
That's awesome.
Almost half of our GWV and directors. And here's the thing. Ray Ray ordered randomly from my website. I didn't know her. The relationship built because I sent her samples and I followed up with her. That's how the relationship grew.
Yeah, and I sure if I could come to her house one day to look at her stash.
It was kind of creepy. I was like, okay, I don't know this girl. And Dave said, yes, you do. That's Ray Ray. That's Vince's girl. I'm like, that's Vince's Okay. And then she joined a different direct sales like 2 days later. But look at her now. You
Yep.
never know.
I will say this. I have been in other direct sales, and I had when I was doing good, the women were so mean and jealous, and I haven't found that in Scentsy at all. I mean, I have with one person, but not really at all. I have not. I love this company. Like, I've only ever done one other direct sales, and I earned the incentive trip in 4 months. But you gotta treat your people good, you know.
Like Ray was one of my first customers, like in my group of first customers early on in my business. You don't need a lot of people to have a successful business. You don't have to have 1 million customers to have a successful business. You don't have to have 1 million people. You just have to treat the people that you do have very, very, very good. And they're going to run your business for you. My customers run my business. My customers run my VIP page. My customers refer me. My customers come to me to party because I've given them an experience. And when you give your customers an experience, they want some of that. They want to host under somebody they trust that takes care of. They want to join under somebody. I told Ray the other day, I had a customer she wasn't even a customer. She was a roll up. A Scentsy Club person, one of my frontline dropped off. The Scentsy Club subscription rolled up to me. This was like, I was still nursing, so over 2 years ago. I texted her to thank her, and she goes, "You're not my consultant. How do I cancel this to join under somebody else? You're not I don't know you." And she was like real ugly. I was like, "Well, you can cancel it, but you're going to lose your always get my bars." Never heard anything else. I have mailed her something every single month for 2.5 years with no freaking response. And she just joined last week. She literally messaged me and she said, "Does it make sense for me to join?" You never know. You never know. So just go, huh? What? That hit the thing? Yeah, that's me. Sorry, I got passionate. You never know. When you're consistent, when you're passionate, people watch that. People watch that. And it's not always easy. But guess what? You're not going to get the biggest desire of your heart, and you're not going to get things that out of this business if you want easy. If you want easy, this is not the place for you because it's not easy. It's freaking hard. But
it's like working two full time. It is. I don't know how you do it with kids. It's got to be harder because it is like working 2 full time. But I see the future so bright. It's worth it to me.
If you run it hard from the beginning, and I ran it like it was life or death, because for me it was life or death. It was me. There was no other choice. I didn't have a choice but to either get another job and still be away from my kid or give this everything I had. And it was hard, but I can tell you, it gets easier because when you're consistent, when you're passionate, people know you as the Scentsy girl. And I have people join me all the time. I have no freaking idea who they are. They're not even customers of mine and they join. Or I have people, "Hey, I want to host. I heard somebody hosted with you and they got all these rewards." They start coming to me because I did 2.5 years, 3 years of consistent hard work, the things I didn't want to do. The things you don't want to do, the things you don't feel like doing, like staying up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, packaging up orders, not taking a lunch break and following up with your customers, having the uncomfortable conversations and asking people to join, because let's be real, it's uncomfortable. It's scary. You're scared what they're going to say or not say or leave you on red. It's scary. Those are the things that will change your business and in turn will change your entire life. And so many people don't want to do those hard things. And you're sacrificing everything that could be for in the moment things. I had no parties booked last week. And you know what? I didn't want to book parties. I'm just going to be real. I didn't want to. I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to. But every time I followed up with somebody, I said, "I'm getting 5 parties booked this week. We ain't doing nothing else until we get 5 parties booked." And every time I followed up, I asked them, "How'd you like your last order? The harvest stuff just came out. You want to get some free stuff?" Sure. Yeah, I got ignored. But you have to treat it like it's a non-negotiable. Because even though I don't feel like it, even though I have a 3-month-old, even though my life is crazy, My dreams are bigger than what I'm going through right now. My bigger desire for what I want for my life, for my family's life. I grew up very poor. I didn't have anything. Me and my brothers didn't have anything. On the days when I don't feel like working, I look at my kids and I said, I will be damned if my kids ever experience what me and my brothers experienced grow up. And you have to have a deep seated, you have to know why you're doing this. Because if you don't know, you're going to give up when it gets hard. You're going to give up when you get Sierra's parties booked. You're going to give up. You're going to
find the why that makes you cry, right?
Yeah. Look at my social media posts or Ray Ray's. We don't get a lot of likes or loves or comments on our Scentsy posts. Like, we don't get a ton, but they watch.
They see it.
Watch. It
They
doesn't.
see it, and they come and talk to us eventually.
Yeah, do a post and then turn around and go live in your stories. And then look at the views of your stories. They're not commenting. They're not in your inbox, but they're watching. Those views are what matter. It does not matter the result. It matters your effort. Your effort is what matters, not the result. The result's going to happen automatically. Focus on your effort and the results will come.
Yep. Okay. Amy had a question. She asked, do you send something every month to everyone on your team? So Danielle, this question's for you, I'm pretty sure. And then Katie and I can kind of back it up.
I send, my team is only 15 altogether right now, so it's not that hard, but I'm getting 3 levels now. So there's me, then under them. So it is, I did this month to 2 of the girls because they hit really good. I don't know yet. I'm still learning my systems, but this month I sent it to 2 of my downlines. But my downlines, yes, even if it's only, now you got to remember mine are new, so they're still in sensational start. So even if it's level 1, level 2, yes, I send them something. I'm just learning the systems that I want, but I also buy, I have an incentive. When they get certified, I buy them a little $20 ring light, but it makes them so happy. It's a $20 Amazon ring light, but it's number 1, it's used for their business. And number 2, it makes them feel really happy, you know? So I did just buy 2 ring lights. I should have bought 4, but 2 girls were like, I'm not ready for a ring light yet. And I'm like, well, your business needs you to, you know, you don't have to go live, but I recommend you go live sometimes, at least do a little story, you know? But I'm just learning what to do every month. Even if maybe right now our team is so small and I'm trying to help them, maybe I just send a handwritten note and say, you know, your effort, that it just depends, you know? I can't imagine when you get hundreds of people, how can you send mail to everybody?
I want you to think that way only from, so when I started, I would send everything to everybody all the time. And then as we grew and grew, and you think I started as 1, and now we're almost a group of 4,000. When we grew and grew and grew, and I couldn't do that. I can't do that for 4,000 people. That's why I do email recognition. That's why I do text messages. Obviously, I don't reach everybody, but you want to recognize the behaviors that you see. One thing I wish I could go back and tell myself, my early leader self, is whatever you start doing, just like a relationship, whatever you start doing, make sure that you can sustain that and you can continue to do it. Because what happens is people begin to expect it. And this is going to sound heartless, and I don't mean for it to sound heartless. Not everybody gets a participation trophy. Not everybody gets, oh, you're active this month, or hey, you got $50 in this month. That's great because everybody has their own personal journey, their own why. But at the end of the day, this is a business. And
right.
You want to show people and teach people how to build a big business. And the problem with doing recognition for everybody, you can't sustain that long term. You can do it in the beginning, but long term, I've had so many angry consultants that would say, Katie never sends me anything anymore. I never hear from you anymore. And I'm like, girl, I thought you were inactive. I didn't even know you were still a consultant. I'm sorry. Because they expected it. Because in the beginning, I babied my team a lot. Like, I was available to them 24/7. I was answered them all hours of the night, especially when they say, I know it's past your business hours. That's why I did the post that I did today. I was at their beck and call. I would do team mail for everybody up until almost we were at a group of 100. I wanted every person to feel special and valued and important, and I still do. But you can't kill yourself for your team. So whatever you start doing, make sure that you can continue to do it. So if you have a small team, do top 5 PRV or top sponsor or email. I do a lot of email recognition. That way I can reach more people. You want it to be duplicatable, because also your team, and I did this before, and I've had a team member tell me this, your team is looking at you. So if you're sending 50 gifts out or doing outrageous team mail, your team is going to say, I can't do that. So I don't want to be a director, or I don't want to be a star consultant. I don't want to be a superstar director, because I can't do what she's doing. And if your team member ever tells you I can't do what she's doing, you're doing too much. You want your job desirable. You want your team to want your job.
We have, so I do inside workstations, there is like a booking blitz. You can follow that and do that. So I put it that there's fundamentals of team building, and there's a workbook. So we are all going to rent this little cabin. Whoever wants, a couple of the girls live in Texas and stuff, so they can't go, but we are going to rent a cabin for the weekend and just study hard, do the booking blitz. We are going to look into the fundamentals of team building, and we're going to find out, if you look it up, there's a workbook with it and everything. So we're planning to do that like the second weekend in October. Not everybody has to go, but those who want to go can go. And so anyways, I'll do these little incentives like, hey, if you guys message 10 people and ask them to book a party, I'm going to give the winner or whoever does it, into a drawing. And then I send them like flyers or something out of the consultant store. So like last month, I sent them the new fall brochures. It made them happy. It was $5, because I want to make sure the incentives or anything I send can help their business too,
Yep. I only send gifts for the behaviors I want recognized. Once you get to a certain point, there's no way that you can send thousands of people gifts every month,
Right.
So like Katie said, like if you're starting small, do top 5 PRV, maybe send something. If you want to send gifts, send a $5 Starbucks gift card to the top PRV or the top recruiter. Okay. Like you don't have to do everything that you see Katie or me or Chloe or another top leader in the company do. Okay. We want you to remember that you need to focus on where you are in your business. You need to look at how much you're making with Cincy. Like Orville always says, you do not need to be spending family money on Cincy. You spend Cincy money on Cincy. That is a really, really, really big thing that you guys need to remember. Okay. If you're not making money with Cincy, you don't need to be investing a lot of your family money into Cincy. So if you want to do more gifts, if you want to do more incentives for your team or your customers, you need to hustle harder, book the parties, get higher PRV, grow your team so you can get a bigger paycheck. Right?
Yep.
Yep.
And the best thing you can do is text them. I'm going to text most of you guys on this call, like especially people deep in my downline. They just want to know that you see them.
Yep.
Hey, how do you guys edit all your emails? How do you do that and get them to come up colors and stuff?
Google Docs. So put it in a Google Doc and then copy it and paste it.
Okay.
I've done a training on that on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah. I learned that from Ray.
Thank you. Trying to figure it out,
but that's the best thing you can do for your team, man. When they hear, like, I use this analogy a lot. They think Britney Spears is texting them. When I'm like, I see you, like, you're killing it this month. And they're like, oh my God, Katie Lashley is texting me. I'm like, yeah, it's not that serious.
yeah, but when we act that way, it's because you really are. are
What's something
somebody
she texted
we
me?
dream to be like one day, you know? So it kind of is to us.
But imagine that your team looks up to all y'all. The impact is huge. The impact
One of-
is huge.
One of my team members said, I can't wait till I'm as successful as you. And I thought, really? Because I'm not even where I plan to be yet. I'm excited and I'm grateful, but it just shocked me. So yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, it makes a difference, y'all. It makes a big difference. You have the power to empower your teams and groups.
All right, y'all. Well, we've been out here for an hour, so it's time to go.
Wrap
'cause
it
I'm- So, all right, this will be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. It takes me literally 12 million years because I live in BFE. So, take it with me, please. And I hope you guys have a great night. Danielle, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your wisdom. I
Yes.
loved it. It actually reminded me that I need to start meditating. So,
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a girl, Lavender. She has 5-minute meditations that are fabulous.
well, hey, do us a favor and post it on the leadership page so we can all get a little piece of that.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you
guys.
guys. Have a
Bye.
good night. Love y'all.
Love y'all.